Hello everyone, I am Minseung Sakang from Youth Cultural Corps. As a part of the campaign named History Never Halts, which is in a correct translation in Korean, 역사는 쉬지 않고 흐른다. I will be introducing and analyzing Korean traditions in modern media. The purpose of this campaign itself is to enlighten both Koreans and those who are willing to learn about Korean history and cultures. In the 21st century, numerous newness appears, and traditions are merely considered as old-fashioned. However, those without their past can never be with their future. Past and the story of the past, which is history, teaches us valuable morals and lessons that lead us to the better path when facing challenges that might seem impossible. Thus, it can be said that the present is the mixture of wisdom from the past and potentials towards the future. We, as a fragment of the modern society, are therefore responsible for being aware of our own history and critically viewing the current status quo to pursue utter development. From now on, I will be explaining several Korean traditions with intriguing myths hidden behind one of the most popular and familiar media. You guess what it is. Movies. Movies have power to influence a number of people with overwhelming visual effects along with priceless messages, which I believe symbolize the advanced degree of delivering ability that the media possesses. Since film directors are able to apply their creative imagination of their works, historical facts can be used as one of the fundamental resources. In this video, such myths will be examined in diverse aspects, including correct apprehension, errors and stereotypes, and our desirable attitudes. The first one we're going to be looking at is Jeon, the Taoist Wizard. This is the movie released in 2009 basing upon traditional myth called The Story of Jeon. The character named Jeon in the original myth is a righteous outlaw who absorbs the spirit of transforming fox acquired how to deal with its magical power given to himself that made him capable of doing literally anything. He can fly, he can be anyone, and so on and so forth. His adventure depicted in the story is somewhat revengeful, as the character does not go astray or become an evil one, but instead he helps those who are suffering from unfairness prevalent in the time period then, which is the Joseon Dynasty, the second last era of Korean history. Hilariously punished corrupt officials and dominant authorities and vanishes into the cloud in the end. In the movie, however, his basic characteristics still remain, but most of the original parts are deleted or distorted in order to align with the tastes of modern people's interests. Thus, this character is said to captured inside of the traditional painting and escaped from it in the current world of Korea, and then this time he captures other released monsters by an antagonist called Hwadam, who used a mysterious pipe that was originally belonged to Jeon. As Jeon wins against Hwadam and makes him unable to leave from the painting, this movie leaves its biggest topic, which is poetic justice, which is usually known as the literary device in which those who are vicious get punished and those who are good get rewarded. Each of them deserve for what they did. This topic is one of the most common one for Korean traditional myths. The reason is somewhat related to the national sentiment as well, which is called Han. Han is the emotional concept that cannot be completely translated or interpreted into any other language. In English, it's acceptable when you understand Han, that lies amongst somewhere of regret, resentment, and rancor. This is due to the historical tragedies such as colonization, numerous attacks by nearby countries, an unforgettable famine because of wars, and therefore people back then used to imagine the world where everyone stays happy except for who deserve just not. This is the reason why many myths such as the story of Jeon were created. So the next one we're going to be looking at is Along with the God. This is not actually a single film, but a series, and there have been two released so far. This series is based on the digital comic that is predicated on a number of myths related to the afterlife. The movie itself did quite a remarkable job to recall the traditional concepts and the mixture with modern interests. To give you a brief introduction of the overall plot, there is a division between those who are alive and those who are dead. When people die, they are being examined through what they have done in their life in order to sort out those who can get a chance to reborn. However, the procedures of rites of passage are not as easy because there are total 7 hells, what you call, needed to be passed through. The entire concept depicts the virtues Korean people have been prioritizing, such as well behaving to parents, desirable and humane attitudes, and so on. This movie focuses more on passing through a number of hells rather than judgments and punishments, reflecting shamanism more than Buddhism, which is proven by a spiritual and divine existence, the Great Yumra. This character is the highest leveled one in the afterlife world, who can control literally anything in that world. Korean traditions tend to indicate the element of purifying the contaminated spirits. This is why the guardians appear in a lot of myths who help the dead spirits. Especially the movie itself is complemented with a decent connection between modern and mythical elements by accusing the real world full of unjust beings and structural problems both in economic and social aspects. Simultaneously, the main topic of the whole work is the significance of empathy and consideration with each other, especially among human beings. Most of the people who act mean cannot get any of empathy of one's own pain and hurt. The message behind the whole fiction and myth is that caring others will return as caring oneself. Thus, this movie delivered the warm-hearted and bright energy with hope to all the people who are striving to survive in this society. These two movies are one of my favorite movies of all time, as the ambiguous combination of past, present, future, and furthermore, reality and imagination is phenomenal. Moreover, they indicate how deep Korean traditions are in terms of the connections to the present Korean sentiments. Now, as we learn the way of seeing the world with critical and analytical perspective, it is now, I guess, our role to design the better developed world with warmer energy among humans. So, this is the end of my semi-lecture on intriguing, I hope, Korean traditional myths revealed through various media, especially in movies. The most popular one, I guess. I wish it was a fruitful and memorable video for all of you who might be watching this either in Korea or from other countries. And if you want to figure out more about Korea, more about Korean history and our cultures as well, you can subscribe this channel, give a small but big for us like, and leave comments below for any shareable opinions. None of your thoughts and curiosity is worthless, so please don't hesitate. Anyway, thank you for viewing this video for this so much long time, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.